with that, I will say hello everyone. Welcome to the IIRL. Today is something probably you haven't heard for a long time. It's the F2 tier today. Haven't had an F2 race since the end of Season 2. So I can imagine that it'll definitely be something to get used to. Obviously the new cars, everyone's excited. They drive actually quite well. Just a little low speed that we want to be a bit careful of. Welcome to the chat, Alex. First race of Season 8, let's go. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, first race for the F2 tier in Season 8. By the looks of things, we're going to be doing one-shot qualifying. So I won't have to yap your ears off for half an hour while we wait for people to do their qualifying laps. But yeah, today's just going to be me. I think Tim offered to do it and then he signed up full time. Obviously, Red Dragon's going to be racing. I don't think he's just eating. Actually, that means that he'll need to get in quick. You're on the stream. You're definitely on the stream, otherwise you wouldn't know it was one shot. Okay. Yeah. A few names that you may not have seen before. Today we have David H, whose debut it is today. You may have seen him in the chat on Tuesday. Very friendly, very clean, and hopefully very fast. We'll get some good fighting up at the front, some good battles. And a name that some of you may not have seen before, based on the fact that he had to leave at the start of last season, but it's the return of Steinos for this season. We'll wait and see what happens with that. The one-shot qualifying is going to be probably a little bit hectic in terms of trying to keep track of everything. So I'll try my best. And then we've got two races, obviously sprint race and feature race. I'm just trying to keep an eye on both chats, apologies. For those of you that can type in chat, please let me know if my mic cuts out sometimes. I've got a known issue with my headset where it will just cut out my audio sometimes. Such as I think there. The only way I can tell is from my overlay that I've got on my screen, which I can't see on the stream. Alright. Mike's sound is going in and out from loud to quiet. Yes, that is the issue. I think it's something to do with the wire, but I can't take apart the wire to be able to look at it and make sure that that's the issue. Currently okay at the moment? Okay, that's fine. We'll hope that it stays like this for the rest of the race. Oh, well, I say rest of the race, rest of the weekend. Obviously in F2 is a little bit different, but you know, just I think we're only waiting on Wedwagon. Hello. That's some brilliant English there. Red Dragon. You better get in quick. ¿Dónde estás? There he is. Right. Oh, there you are. You are in. These are two new names that I have not seen before. Hello. These two are my mates. If they give you any mess, ban. We don't need to ban them. No, we welcome everyone in the chat, so long as they aren't rude. Right. I believe. Quality time, adios. Yeah. Good luck, lad. I know your quality pace in these cards is actually quite good, so we'll wait and see what can happen. Hopefully nobody readies up early. Behave and focus on your race. I mean, you're not wrong, but at the same time, it's like, ooh, hello. There's some cloud. I wonder if there'll be any rain. If anyone in the chat can confirm that there is any rain. Obviously, you two won't be able to. But, drivers, of course. Ooh, hello, somebody's ready. I don't know whether that radio time was correct. That's not good. Yeah, somebody's ready up early, so that's not good. Yeah, we'll get one-shot qualifying underway. No F2, no ERS, sorry, in F2. Everybody on the super soft. And at the moment, it's looking like David has some fairly low wings, as does Sebastian. Going into someone with Sun God now. He's dropping down the order a little bit. Rothwell and Red Dragon fighting over the front few places. Bloisey, it's a Trident 1-2 MP3-4 through the first few corners. We'll go into... Which one is this? This is the Villeneuve chicane. Red Dragon currently leading through the first sector. Rothwell in P2. Bloisey and Deflated Wee fighting over P3 as Steinos has retired from qualifying, meaning he will start P13 in both races. Bear in mind that reverse grid pole is on P10. Red Dragon currently still holding first position. Rothwell in P2, Bloisey P3, Sebastian in P4, looking good. Deflated Wee fighting with Steve and Sun God for P5. Padge in P8, Sox in P9, Steely P10 at the moment. It looks like 57.3 for Rothwell. Couldn't quite see what Red Dragon very close. Now that's Bloisey, excuse me, invalidating over the Variante Alta. We'll go on board with Red Dragon as he comes into the Ravazzas. We'll wait and see as he crosses the line. It's a good exit out of the final corner. He manages to keep it within the lines. Make sure you don't invalidate because you can cut on the inside. It's 25.7, 2 tenths in front of Bloisey. Padge and David both having invalidated their laps, as has Alex. So it is Red Dragon who will take the 2 points for pole. What is the best steering wheel for Xbox under €500? How can I add to your league? I'm not quite sure. We'll go over that once we've gone through the qualifying order. Red Dragon on pole with 25.7, 2 tenths, nearly 3 ahead of his teammate Bloisey. It's a Trident 1-2 picking up where they left off, having won the Constructors' title the last time F2 was run. Rothwell P3, Steve P4, Sebastian P5, Sungod P6, 2 VARs in 4th and 6th, that's good for them. Deflated in P7, Sox in P8, Steely P9, Steinos will be on reverse grid pole in P10, Padge and Badge, David and Alex all having disqualified their lap times. The best steering wheel for Xbox under €500. I don't know if I'm the best person to ask about this because I've got a Fanatec. So I've actually spent a fair amount. Red Dragon has disconnected. That is not very good. I shall invite him back. That is really not good timing. Luckily, I believe he has the formation lap to get back into his car. Which one of Fanatec? I have the CSL DD 5 Nm and the Formula V2.5, which in normal people terms is just the F1 wheel. I actually found, well, before I switched, I was on Logitech. I was using the G290 or G920, depending on whether you're on the PlayStation or Xbox. I did enjoy using my Logitech. The only problem I had with it was the flickering of the throttle pedal. But aside from that, it is a really good wheel. There are some people you can talk to. I have Logitech right now, but I want some upgrade. If that's the case, I would recommend messaging IIRL Padge on Xbox to get into the league, and then there are a couple people in here who can help you to talk about Thrustmaster, for example. A couple people have a Moser. I think there is a budget Fanatec wheel. I do need to fact check that. But yeah, to answer your second question, you can message IRL Padge on Xbox. Let them know that you're interested, and we'll see where we can go from there. I'm just going to check the ready up time quickly. Something else to note is that Red Dragon is actually now the championship leader. Obviously, first round and first pole. It is... Oh, excuse me. 2 points for pole, I believe. The ready up time said it was 3 minutes from when we loaded in. So we'll have to wait and see what's going on there. And hopefully, with the formation lap, Red Dragon can get back in his car. I will say though, that format for one-shot qualifying, that was quite good. As we now go to the grid, AIX of Steinos on pole, on reverse grid pole. That is a very good start from him. I know he's not played the game for a long time, so I can't really fault him for that, but no offense to him, but that is mildly funny. So we'll have Steely in formation lap. Unfortunately, Steinos having put himself into the wall, having slightly spun. I think that is another. That is an MP towards the back. I believe that might be Rothwell, as Padge and David have been reset to the grid. I believe there may have been some contact there, otherwise they wouldn't have got round to the grid. Red Dragon's car is still an AI. So unfortunately for him, he won't be able to take control. Should go back to the front here, shouldn't I? Steely's actually getting quite a big gap to Socks behind. And thus to Deflated Wee as well. There's another car gone around as well. Is that Steve? That is Steve. There's another one. A lot of people spinning on the formation lap, as there's a Invicta car backwards. That would be Sebastian, the only Invicta in this race. A lot of people finding it hard to weave and keep control of the car, seemingly. Red Dragon, how do you mean what happened? Between Padge and David? I don't know. Can I join you in Yeah, Are you not able to pick a car for the second race? I don't quite know how this works. Hey Reds, how you doing? It's going well? Deflated Wee. Oh dear. A couple of people getting disqualified from their grid slots. They said I could for race 2. Then yeah. Yeah, we'll wait and see for now. If you can't pick a car, then I'll get you in for the feature. I think that's fair enough, if I'm being honest. But we'll go to the start. 3, 4, 5 lights with this bad camera angle. Lights out, and F2 is underway. Steinus with a reasonable start. There's somebody going off in the background already, that is. I believe that's Gertie Steve in the background in the VAR. Steinus holds the lead from Steely. Deflated Wheat and Sebastian have both got past Socks, but Steinus will lead in turn 1. Steely going very wide through turn 1 there. Technically turn 2. There's a yellow flag at the back. That is David, who has spun in the ART. Steinus already streaking clear of this pack. Steve has now got past David in the background. Not quite sure what's going on there. Already opened up a second gap at the front. Bloisey going for a move on Sungod. Deflated Wee getting out of shape in the MP. He's going to leave him vulnerable to Sebastian. He's going to go side by side into the fast left-hander. Sebastian holds it around the outside, can't quite make the move clean. He's going to have to give that up, otherwise he will have a penalty coming his way. Bloisey has spun on the exit of the fast left-hander. But your order at the moment is Steinos Reeks from Steely 2016, Deflated Wee, Sebastian looking to the inside of the very anti-alto. You normally never see a move there. Couldn't quite pull it off. Deflated Wee getting him on the switchback. Socks in P5, Sungod in P6, Red Dragon our pole sitter for the feature race in P7. From P10 on the grid, I imagine he will... Yeah, I think he has taken control of his car now. Rothwell, it will be in P8, Padge P9, Alex in P10. Remember that the point system for the sprint is only the top 8. How can I join some races in future? Yeah, like I said, message Padge on Xbox, and then sorry, I'm I'm trying to multitask here. There's a move for Sebastian in the background. Sungod and Socks both getting passed by Red Dragon. Socks falling down behind Rothwell as well. There's Red Dragon having a look on Sebastian, but couldn't quite get his nose in. There's now a 2-second gap at the front of the field. Steely just about keeping an arm's length to Deflated. Nearly over a second, but couldn't quite break there. Oh, that looked to have been very close to a warning for Steely. But Steinos is going clear at the moment. He will start P10 for the feature race, so keep that in mind. If Red Dragon wants to maximise this, he'll want to be quite aggressive in getting past these cars here. Sebastian looks to be rather aggressive. Deflated looks to have a pretty decent run on Steely here. He's going to look to the inside. Can't quite make it there. Steely looked to outbrake himself a little bit. Oh, that's a big slide. Sebastian's gone around. Sebastian's gone around. Red Dragon involved in contact with Sebastian there. Unfortunately, the Invicta getting spun round. Red Dragon could possibly be in with a penalty for that one. They're almost going 3 wide. As Deflated goes around the outside of turn 1. Red Dragon holds it around the outside from an attack from Sungod. Sungod losing the rear slightly, and Sungod has to lose out to Rothwell. But that move between Red Dragon and Sebastian will be looked at as we can see Steely going very deep there. Red Dragon behind, looking for the switch rack. He's going to have the inside going into the fast left-hander. You almost never want to be side by side going into here. Neither of them is going to back out. Red Dragon has contact. There's carnage behind. As Red Dragon can't quite catch the car. Socks, as that caused a bit of a concertina effect. Sungod going into the back of Red Dragon. Rothwell into the back of Sungod. Socks managing to capitalise on that and move back up into P5. That will also be another one that I imagine will be looked at by the stewards, as that is Rothwell and Steve getting one track limit penalty at each at the same time. Red Dragon looking to the outside on Steely now into Ravatzas. Sebastian now getting warnings as well. It's a little bit of contact between them in the first Ravatza. Oh, Steely has spun out of the final corner. Red Dragon does keep the DRS. I don't think the slipstream will be powerful enough for Socks to get into the DRS. Sorry, go for a move on Red Dragon. here, but Redragon's goal will now be to try and catch up to Deflated. Steely has come into the pit lane, and I believe Sebastian may have done as well. Steve gets past Bloisey. Obviously, with his penalty, he will drop behind unless he can gap 3 seconds. That is a very hard one to call. That's not the one I want. That is the one I want. Bloisey also now getting 3 seconds, so that means that they will stay as they are at the moment. But maybe something to look at. Everybody, of course, on the medium tyres. They don't want to waste a set of tyres, as Alex now also getting a 3-second track limits penalty. Some of these warnings may get removed, you never know, from contact, but somebody who's managed to escape all this chaos is this man in the AIX. Steinos Reeks, on his return, I don't actually know whether he's no assist now or not, but even if he's not, this is some incredible and even consistent paces you can see in the top right there. 9 milliseconds for off of his fastest lap time. Redragon takes up 28.2 as the fastest lap. So that'll be one to watch out for in the main race. Sungod gets past Sox into turn 1. Rothwell can't quite shape for the move. Padge in the Dams car, currently on for P6. With Rothwell's time penalty, David gets past Steve at the back of the pack. Sungod on for a pretty good P4 as well. The F2 car, of course, causing a little bit of a mix-up in the grid that you'd normally see because of how different they are. But Red Dragon's just been consistently closing in on Deflated Wii. Was, I believe, at 1.7 seconds at the line last lap. Have to wait and see whether he's taken out too much out of his tyres early on. It's like you see in real life. If you push too hard early on... Oh, the Steinos made a mistake. That gap was 5 seconds at the start. Now it's down to nearly 3. That's very interesting. If somebody can clue me up on that, I'd love to know. Red Dragon 3/10 off of his fastest lap. Still not quite close enough, as going side by side again in the background. Sox looking to the outside on Sungod. Rothwell looking to go through on Sungod as well. Look to the outside, Sungod backs off. That's a smart move if I'm being honest. You don't want to lose too much time fighting through turn 1 and allow yourself to get caught by the following pack. Deflated Wii with 3 seconds now. Sungod was looking to the inside of Rothwell, couldn't quite get there. This Padge takes a bit of a look. Doesn't fully commit to that move. Steely getting a 3-second penalty as well. Give me 2 minutes, please. Oh, sugar. Apologies, was just responding to a message, but I believe Deflated has dropped back quite a lot again. And he's allowed Red Dragon into the DRS. Gap's gone up to 5 seconds. Steve with another 3-second track limits penalty. But Red Dragon is just so much more confident than Deflated Wii by the looks of things at the moment in this race. He's going to have the DRS. He's 1.3 seconds down, so something must have happened that would have caused them to lose so much time. As Red Dragon looks to the outside of turn 1 and does get the move done. Now he will look. He would need almost a second a lap to try and catch Steinos, as that Sebastian who's gone round again at the final corner. Sungod and Sox. Sox must have had a moment there, because you don't normally get that good of an exit and manage to get past somebody. But Rothwell is now sprinted clear. There's a yellow flag at turn 1 for David, as unfortunately he's off towards the barriers. Possibly an incident with Bloisey or Steve, or maybe even on his own. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Someone else who's probably gone a little bit under the radar here. Alex is in P8. Obviously, with the point system for the sprint, that would be a point for Alex at the moment. And I believe that will be his first point in any format. And as I say that, he gets a 3-second track limits penalty. So that's a good time to bring up the penalties at the moment. So at the moment, he would be very close to being outside of the points. So he just needs to keep up his consistent pace. But Dragon's taking another fastest lap. He hasn't closed in too much to Steinos on that lap. Both MPs with 3-second track limits penalties. I believe Deflated will get away with not losing the position. However, Rothwell will not, and neither will Sungod, who has another who also has a 3-second penalty. Excuse me. So that will put Sox up to P4 and Padge up to P5 for the moment. I think that the top 3 at the moment are probably going to stay where they are. I don't think it's going to be possible for 5 seconds to be closed within 5 laps. Keep in mind the closeness of pace that we've seen so far. There's some very consistent lap times being pumped in by both of these drivers. There's Red Dragon now getting a 3-second penalty, and that pretty much confirms it for Steinos for the sprint. Unless, of course, a moment is had, a penalty is given. We still have yet to see, or we've yet to hear. Steinos does take the cone with him. Bloisy getting his 2nd track limits penalty, so that would put Alex still within the top 8. But moments provided on the car, or track limits provided on the car, and also Red Dragon. We still have yet to hear about the incident with Sebastian earlier on. Rothwell getting a little bit out of shape through turn, well, what should be turn 2 there. On the track map, I believe, is actually turn 3. But Sungod at the moment, looking at a P4 finish. This battle is, I believe, one of the closest on track, if not, at least between the most people. Red Dragon has suddenly lost out to Deflated. Not quite sure what's happened there. Maybe a mistake from the Trident man. Must have been. He's 2.2 seconds off on this lap alone. There's Rothwell getting a 6 seconds now, and that will confirm him being in P7. Alex at the moment holding on to the advances of Steve. We'll wait and see whether this will remain the case for the rest of the race. He's got 3 laps to hold on, so Steinos has already started lap 10. Really unfortunate for Steely, but lapping in some good, consistent times, as is Sebastian. As what on earth is going on there? Red Dragon gets past Deflated, and Rothwell gets past Sungod. As that was someone looking in the mirrors again. Bloisy and Alex and Steve all going past. And Alex has been pushed down to P10. Bloisy now in P8. Björn has joined the lobby. I imagine this will be to take a car for the second part of this, or second race in the feature. And I imagine the same will be for COD as well, in terms of joining with another car. feels like it's been a bit of a quiet one. I know it's only a sprint race, and the gaps are rather spread out on this lap. Steiners has lost 1.7. Red Dragon taking another fast lap as Rothwell has gone round on the exit of the Ravatsas. That's really unfortunate. Rothwell was having a brilliant race up until that point. As Deflated Wee gets back past Red Dragon. But yeah, again, really unfortunate for Rothwell. That will mean that Sun God is definitely in P6, unless he can shake the two behind. Rothwell already getting another penalty, which, if he isn't careful, could promote Bloisey and Steve up into, well, in Bloisey's case, more points, and in Steve's case, up into a point. Have to wait and see what's going on there. Now it's the other way around. These two actually having quite a good battle here. Go on board with Steve. As I think that is actually front wing damage for Bloisey there. He's missing one of his wing elements. So that would mean that he will be being held back. Obviously this fighting isn't going to help them either. Rothwell, no damage, which is fortunate for him. But he has to be careful with that 9 seconds of penalties. As Deflated... What on earth was going on there? Looked like Deflated braked really early as Sox now gets a 3-second track limits penalty as well. So he will look to maintain his position in front of Sun God unless that can be removed. I don't know. But provisionally that will put Padge up into P4. Again, lots of people struggling with the rear tyres and just the rear grip in general. If Deflated Wee and Red Dragon aren't careful, they could allow Padge up into P2. There's definitely something to keep an eye on. They're 2.8 seconds down. What is going on with these two? I really don't understand. But they're going to be careful. They've got to be careful that they don't back themselves up into Padge. But what we will do is go with your race leader. He's been leading from the off, a little bit of a blip on the formation lap. But aside from that, it's been controlled for the man who's making his IIRL return. As that is Red Dragon get past Deflated Wee and Sun God getting past Sox. I think Padge will remain behind for now. But yeah, we'll keep with the AIX man. Didn't initially sign up at the start of the season. His teammate will be Joseph Hales, the man who in real life worked with Taylor Barnard. But all he has to do is take this last lap nice and calm, make sure he doesn't spin, get any warnings or penalties, and he will be home scot-free. He's still running at a really good pace. He's 4/10 off his best lap time, so it's really consistent from this man. Rothwell with another 3-second penalty. That won't quite drop him behind Steve, Bloisey, and that little group, as he does go a little bit deep at the final corner. But Steinos Reeks is going to come out of the final corner and take the checker flag for the sprint race win. The AIX man on his racing return. He's absolutely dominated the field. Red Dragon will take home P2, Deflated in P3. I believe the gap will be enough. Padge has moved up to P4, so those two will keep the podium. Only by 2 milliseconds. Oh, that was close. Padge will take P4, Sungod in P5, Sox will be P6, Rothwell in P7. I believe Steve has gone off at the final corner. So Bloisey will take P8, Alex will take P9, unfortunately just missing out on points on his F2 debut. David will take P9 from Alex because of those track limits penalties. Therefore, Alex in P10. Steve, unfortunate with the spin at the end, in P11. Sebastian in P12. Steely. The start really didn't go right for Steely. I think I'm just going to say that now. Unfortunate for the spin. Very glad that he kept going. Shows the commitment. But unfortunately, does finish last. And no retirements. But yeah, we'll have a look at the standings currently for the weekend. Red Dragons leading the way. The fastest lap also went to the Trident Man. So I believe that will be Trident who are currently taking the lead in the team's standings. Obviously, there has only been one sprint race. We'll have to wait and see. The real points come in the feature race. But Shinos is your race winner. From pole position, obviously, again, that little blip on the formation lap, and he's corrected that really well. Red Dragon from P10 up to P2, who will be starting on pole position for the feature race. It does take the fastest lap by quite a margin by the end. Deflated Wee in P3, finishing off the sprint race podium. Padge in P4, luckily benefiting from the track limits penalties for Sungod and Sox. Obviously, skill to keep it within the track limits, P11 to P4. That's some really good driving there. Sungod in P5 does manage to keep ahead of Sox with those track limits penalties. Rothwell unfortunate for the spin as well. Bloisey with the front wing damage, I believe that would have hindered his race quite a lot. David with P9 going off at the first corner obviously did not help him. Alex in P10, both of those two just missing out on the points. Steve spinning at the end, not really helpful for him. Sebastian P12 and Steely in P13. The only man to stop on this race. Hi John, how you doing? Sox says good luck with the stewards report. We'll see about that one. I think it is a good time to mention that, yeah, I am the F2 steward for this season as well as the streamer. If anyone wants to, if anyone from the league wants to join me in the comms box, I am very happy with that. F2 is back. Yes, it is, Socks. I hope you enjoyed that race. Yeah, just a lot of things going on in the main chat at the moment. Ready up time at 10 past. But yeah, I think I might have my work cut out for me even in the sprint race alone. So I'm just wondering what is going to happen with the main race as well. Hopefully people can keep it a little bit calmer. Hopefully the adrenaline... Well, the adrenaline obviously will still be quite high. But hopefully people will be able to keep their heads now that they've settled in a little bit. And we'll wait and see. Hopefully the racing is just as good, but a little bit cleaner in this race. I don't particularly know what to say in this little section, because I don't know where to start. because with the sprint race, we've gone through it all. There's a lot of things that you can say that are condensed in the one moment. I don't know where to go from here. It's like if we ever ran full qualifying. Because in F2, there's only full qualifying or one shot. Full qualifying is half an hour with only one set of tyres. So everyone's just going to wait for 25 minutes of doing nothing. And it will just be a mixture of silence and the occasional talking. But it's the same thing. It's the same principle. But on the other hand, with the one-shot, it's very, very busy. It's very short, obviously. That is the point of one-shot qualifying. Actually, yeah, I do have an idea of where to start. Let's talk about real life. Recently, the news got announced that Spa was rejoining the calendar for the next few years. But in 2028 and 2030, it will not be on the calendar. There are a couple tracks that, well, some people are saying that it could be a rotational track, like we've had in the past. I believe Nürburgring was one with Hockenheim. I think we had a couple that hosted the European Grand Prix back in the day. I would like to see Spa being a rotational circuit. I think it's a good idea. I think that if the higher ups at F1 noted the wants of the fan base, I think that it could be really good to have, say, Turkey back on the calendar, or Hockenheim, especially with Audi entering the sport back into 2026. I think it's a really good idea to have a German Grand Prix back on the calendar. I would love to see Hockenheim back. I really enjoyed it. On the F1 2019 game it would have been now. I really enjoyed driving it on there. In 2020 we had the Nürburgring, the GP circuit. That's another track I'd love to see on the calendar. I think that it would be a good idea to have those two as rotating, if we're going to implement that. I do think that going back to Kyalami would be another good shout. I've enjoyed driving it on Forza Motorsport. But enough of that. We'll get the formation lap underway. It's a very fast pull away from Red Dragon here. Not everyone going with him by the looks of things. Rothwell looking to be a little slow away. Not quite sure what's going on there. But he is moving. So that is good. No, it's Rothwell and there's Codcamper at the back. My bad. I just noticed the Williams liveried MP not getting away. Obviously these aren't going to be people's fixed cars for the entire season. A couple of mixed strategies here. Red Dragon and Bloisy both on the super softs. Rothwell, Steve and Sebastian looking to go long on the mediums and hopefully have an attacking last stint. Sun God on the super softs, Deflated on the mediums, Sox, Steely, Steinos and Padge all on the super softs, David and Alex on the mediums. Jörn and Cod, bear in mind, they're going to have two fresh sets of mediums because they did not take part in the sprint. I think that this is going to be very interesting. I think that we could see, I think the tyre delta here, because of it being 2 steps in compound difference, I think that it could be very, very, I think the tyre delta is very big, so we could see quite a large pace differential. And I think that for people like Sun God, Sox, Steely, Steinos, they're going to want to clear those on the mediums early. Red Dragon pointing. Oh, that's not good. That's really not good, because he's now pointing directly towards the grass instead of pointing towards the straight where you'd normally want to be. Rothwell, unfortunately, as well, having missed his grid slot, waiting on Alex to go into his grid slot. Last car on the grid now. As we look to the 5 red lights for the feature race, 5 lights. Lights out, and we're underway for the feature race. We'll go with Red Dragon here. He's got a pretty decent start. His teammates alongside him, so he has to be careful. That's Rothwell. Oh! That's not a good moment for the 2 Triumphs. Rothwell is in P1. Steve and Sebastian debating 3rd as the virtual safety car is deployed. That's not good for the 2 Triumphs. Red Dragon was starting on pole position. He couldn't see that Rothwell was there. I don't think. But that does mean that Sun God is up into P2. Sebastian is in P3. Steinos has gone from P10 to P6. That's a cracking start from him. Björn and Cod have gone up to P9 and P11 from P14 and P15 respectively. But what a mad start. I would never have expected that. That just completely has flipped this race on its head. Red Dragon, who was looking so strong in qualifying, both of them are now at the back. Red Dragon has no front wing. Well, all of them are lucky not to DNF. Especially Rothwell, who seems to have got away scot-free. I would love to see the onboard for that of Rothwell, as that is Steely looking to get past Björn on the restart. Codcamper going forwards as well. Red Dragon gets past Alex. But Deflated and Steve, 2 good friends off the track. They're going side by side through the 2 revasses. They've got to be careful that they don't lose out too much to Steinos, who's a very big snap in the final corner. He'll lose out 2 socks. As we do complete the first lap, that is Sun God has got past Rothwell, just about going to turn 1. Deflated Wee and Steve, both of them are on the medium. Steinos has fallen down to P9, Björn up to P7. Something I'd like to keep in mind is that Sun God, in any format, has never won a race. I believe he's won a sprint race, but never a feature race. I know he's on the super soft now, but if he can break away and just run his own pace, not get any warnings, and pull away, Sun God could be in for a really, really good position in this race. He's already broken a second to Rothwell. Sebastian will be looking to get past Rothwell as soon as he can, because I think Sebastian will think he's got more pace than Rothwell at this stage. A lot of people are fighting towards the back. I believe that so Red Dragon has come in to fix his front wing. DRS won't be in effect until the start of this lap, so Sebastian won't have DRS. He'll have to rely on the slipstream if he wants to get past Rothwell. But I think Steve and Deflated have done actually quite well to hold off from Sox and Steinos. But Sun God sets the fastest lap. Obviously, this is the first representative lap. DRS has been enabled on this lap. Deflated and Steve, as I said, have done really well to hold on. Rothwell backs out into turn 1, but yeah, they've done really well to hold on from 2 super soft runners behind them, if not more. They've got 4 behind them directly. The next medium runner is David. Steinos is looking for the move on the inside of Sox in the Villeneuve chicane. Steinos has already got track limits. He's gone off the track. Steely now looking to the outside. That's Codcamper, excuse me. Oh, that's a big slide for, I believe that's Björn in the Williams liveried ART. As Björn Sox going side by side into the high-speed left-hander. Sox unfortunately has to go off the track. but Cod is right behind Steinos. They're going side by side through Aqua Minerale and the VAR and MP. They're looking to go side by side into Variante Alta now. Deflated on the outside, Steinos. Oh, that's very close there, but Steinos with that 3-second penalty, he will have to be careful. Codcamper now looking to get past the Deflated Wheat as well. Steinos looks to the outside of the two advances. Steve holds the inside. It's good defending from the VAR man. As Deflated Wheat and Codcamper side by side through the two advances, and Codcamper has got the move done. It's Björn looking to get past Deflated as well. As you can see, the medium's falling back now. Steinos with the DRS will be able to get past Steve, and he'll now look to chase after Rothwell as they're going nearly 3 wide. As that is Björn getting past Deflated. Steve will be... Ooh, almost had a look there into Villeneuve. But already the gap at 2 seconds. Like Steve and Socks going side by side. Was that Socks having a look through Tozer? I believe it was. Deflated looks to the outside on Björn. Björn with the inside. Deflated with the switchback. Can't quite get there. Obviously with the mediums versus the supers, there will be quite the large offset at the moment. Codcamper, ooh. Codcamper has to be very careful that he doesn't lose DRS to Steinos at this stage. Socks gets a track miss penalty, as that is David who's gone round as well, and Steve. 2 separate incidents there. That's very interesting. But Codcamper, I believe, has lost DRS to Steinos in front. He has. So that will leave him under attack from Björn. But again, they've got to be careful. The super softs don't die out quickly. Bloisy flying the flag for Trident in P8 with that recovery drive of a sort. Red Dragon will be hoping that he can still salvage something from this race, having started on pole. But Sun God now starting to lose a little bit of time. I believe you'll want the super softs to be going until round about lap 7. And then you can take the mediums comfortably to the end. It's actually nice to hear super soft tyres, even though it's F2 and already teammate drama. Yeah. I'm going to have my work cut out for me as part of this duo. There's Björn also now with a 3-second track miss penalty. I just caught that while looking at the stream on my laptop. Which also means that this lap won't actually count. You would have seen on the minimap there that the second sector didn't light up purple. Which means that it has been disallowed. So although he's 1.2 seconds up, this lap won't count for Björn. This looks hard. It is hard, Ritz. It is very hard. There's a lot to keep track of. There's a lot of people as... Okay, that's very interesting. Oh, no. Both of them getting caught out. I also believe that's a very early stop to switch from the super softs. Don't take my word for it, because I haven't done an insane amount of F2 like I have F1. Red Dragon will be looking to get decently close to Bloisy and Steely. Obviously, with their 10 seconds, they will probably drop behind Red Dragon again. Who's coming through the final corner now. They'll take the pit lane speed limiter off now. And Red Dragon is still not quite close enough. With their 10 seconds, it will bring them in relatively close. They will have to go through the warm-up phase though. So they will lose quite a lot of time, Red Dragon, on those warmer mediums. But Sun God has now got Sebastian and Rothwell in his DRS, so he'll have to be careful, or he can pit this lap. What I did not realise is that Sun God has a track limits penalty. That's not good. There's Sun God taking it careful. There's Sebastian and Rothwell now, as Bloisey gets 3 seconds. Björn now speeding into the pit lane. It's easy to do. Sox has done it as well. This is going to cause a lot of people to lose out. So those people that have gone long should be pretty well prepared now. Sox has also got past Padge in the pit lane. We'll have to wait and see where they come out in relevance to Bloisey and Steely. Songod has already left the pit lane. Yeah, you know what? Actually, go to this slot up here and we'll open the penalties. So this is very interesting. Even without the speeding penalties for Steinos getting another track limits penalty, the thing is, if the undercut is powerful enough and the super softs die off enough, we could see the undercut being a whole lot more powerful than we think. The Fatal Wheat also getting past Codcamper. We'll bring back the tyres. Excuse me for that one. My party cut out. Codcamper does come in for the medium tyres. Alex has come in from the mediums to the super softs. That's a really interesting call. I think that's way too early. I think Alex could actually be at risk of a puncture if he's not careful on those super softs. So Sungod takes the lead. That's Codcamper coming out the pits now. He will be overtaken by both Björn and Steinos. He was behind them anyway. Keep that in mind. As Bloisey coming out the pit lane now as well. Sox and Padge fighting into turn 1. Alex has come out in last place. But we do still have David, Steve, Deflated Wheat, Rothwell, both MPs going along. Sebastian yet to pit. Something I would like to know. Oh, that's another thing that's been key for this race. Rothwell does still have the DRS, but Sebastian, with a 3-second penalty, that could still open up the chance for Sungod to win this race. Rothwell has been given a pretty golden opportunity here, with both of his closest rivals having got 3-second track limits penalties. If he can avoid a track limits penalty and an incident penalty post-race from the stewards, which I'm not looking forward to, I'm just going to preface that now. That's going to be a long day. But I don't think the gap is coming down as substantially as you think it should. Normally in F1 the pit lane is around about 26 to 28 seconds. In F2 that will be exacerbated not only by the slower pit stop but also the slower pit lane speed limit. So I think it'll be somewhere around 30 to 40 seconds. So if that is the case, and bear in mind Sebastian, Rothwell and Steely gets 3-second track limits penalty. Sebastian and Rothwell both ahead of Björn and Steinos. I believe Deflated Wee was behind, so the gap to leader currently would leave, by approximation, Sebastian and Rothwell behind Sungod by a few seconds, but ahead of Björn. Not by a lot, just keep that in mind. There's Bloisey now getting a track limits penalty. That will be his second plus on top of his speeding penalty. We'll see whether he can get... He is really, really close to Codcamper's DRS, but I don't think he has got it as deflated. Steve and David were going side by side through turn 1. Wait and see whether Bloisey does have a DRS on. He does not. But SunGod, with that large amount of free air to push, you'll just have to be careful that Björn doesn't overtake him. But Rothwell and Sebastian, they're both very, very close. Rothwell almost falling out of DRS. I believe his exit will be good enough now to make sure he stays in the DRS. Codcamper gets 3 track limits penalty, excuse me, which will mean that he won't benefit as much as he would normally do. That's a big slide from Rothwell. We may see him It's debatable whether you want to come in this early, because you want to go for an attacking end of the stint, but the super softs die off very, very easily. Keeping in mind that they are 2 steps softer, you just have to be so careful. That is, Steve has spun, as Alex gets to 3 seconds as well. Steve does get back underway. Red Dragon with a 3-second transfer penalty as well. I believe that's his first. Yes, it is. So Padge is the only one of the drivers yet that has stopped that does not have a track limits penalty. We'll keep an eye on SunGod and Steve as Bloisey now gets past Codcamper. Could we see some tactical games? Could we see Steve on his old mediums? He's going to come in, as he does also get a 3-second track limits penalty. Could we see that Steve slows down to give SunGod the DRS to help him pull away a little bit from Björn and Steinos? I think that would be the smart move in terms of the team and for SunGod, and as I say that, Steve goes off. So throw that strategy in the bin, ignore it. That's a really good timing, isn't it? I imagine Steve will be coming in probably this lap. There's just no point in staying out anymore. At least for his race. Sebastian, of course, yet to come in, along with Rothwell. They will have quite a big gap to try and make up, and also the question of how long will the super soft tyres go. Steinos does set the fastest lap. Steve does come in. So how long will the super soft tyres go? How easy will it be for them to clear the traffic? Also keeping in mind that Steinos has a 6-second penalty where SunGod only has 3. And Björn has the speeding penalty, which will push him down further. Unless any of them can find a way to somehow possibly remove the track limits. Or not even track limits, the speeding penalty, which, if I'm being completely honest, I doubt is going to happen unless you've been punted into the pit lane, as we do see Rothwell come in. But wait and see what the delta is. So currently it's 1.9. We'll put gap to leader up as Bloisey gets another 3-second penalty. So I believe at this stage Rothwell will come out in between Björn and Codcamper. We'll see David come in as well. So Rothwell is on the super soft tyres. He will have a little bit of clear air, but we'll have to wait and see where he ends up. So that is SunGod going past now. That is Björn getting past Steinos with the DRS, and Rothwell is not that far behind at all. But crucially, he is ahead of Codcamper. So that gives us about 36 odd seconds delta. Bearing in mind that Rothwell does not have any penalties. So we'll put interval back up. Björn and Steinos are now within the DRS of Sun God. But Rothwell on those super soft tyres has put him in a very, very nice position. We'll wait and see for the blue dot on the minimap as Seedy gets another 3-second track limit penalty. We'll wait and see. Will Sebastian respond? He does. And that's another one for 10 seconds in speeding. So, if Rothwell can just keep within the margin that he needs, not get a track limits penalty, and make sure that the three in front of him don't run away, Rothwell's in a really, really good position to win this race. Especially considering he's on some of the youngest tyres in the field, and they're the fastest tyres that we have available to us in the weekend. So that is Björn, and as Bloisey now getting a 3-second penalty as well. That's very, very tight. Bloisey retires in the pit lane. That's kind of confusing if I'm being honest. He could have scored some pretty good points, but Björn takes the lead from Steinos. All three of these guys on the same lap tyres. Sebastian is within the DRS train with the fresher tyres, but bear in mind that Imola is a very, very difficult track to overtake on. Steve now sets the fastest lap, so we know the potential of the super soft tyre. Rothwell just needs to keep within... Oh, this would be a brave move. That would be a very aggressive move from Sebastian if he ever tried to pull that one off. Keep in mind he's still on his outlap, so he's still got some decently cold tyres compared to the cars in front. They would have warmed their tyres up. So Sun God's goal will have to be to keep Sebastian, but well, even then, Sebastian has the 10-second speeding. So all Sun God needs to do is just keep within, I believe it's Steinos' the 6 seconds. Yeah. And, excuse me, he'll gain a place. Sebastian will be looking to go through on Sun God with the extra grip that he's got of the super soft tyres. He's going to go straight around the outside, and so does Rothwell. That's a brilliant move there. Hi, it's Sano. Hey, Sano, how you doing? Oh, dear. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, dear. That's not good. Get the man back in the lobby. That's really, really unfortunate for Tim. He was having such a good race. As I believe I also caught... Yeah, Steinos does have another 3-second penalty for track limits. As Sebastian's hassling Björn. This is for position, keep in mind. Sebastian and Björn have the same amount of penalties, and as I say that, Björn gets another 3 seconds. This is some really good timing. Good on you, mate. I'm really... well... meh. I'm really tired. I stayed up until 5 in the morning yesterday. You know, I'm really enjoying the start of the season. Honestly, I hope to see you back on track. I remember having some really good fights with you last season, as Sebastian does prove the pace off the super soft tyres and sets the fastest lap with a 26.9. But yeah, I hope to see you back on track, mate. You showed some real pace last season, so I hope you can come back as Red Dragon, gets another 3 seconds as well, which would drop him behind David currently and give up the point that he has. Okay, mate, enjoy the race. Yeah, thank you. I hope you stay for this one, because this has been genuinely really good. Rothwell, obviously, he's quite close to dropping out of the DRS. Sebastian looking for a very aggressive move that was. Oh, he's not going to go for it here. Oh dear. That's another one. That's another disconnect for Red Dragon. That is some horrible luck for the man who took pole. There's a lot of disconnects happening at the moment. I don't quite understand why. I think Rothwell's probably just taking it easy at the moment. He's at 1.1 seconds. He does need to be careful he doesn't fall out too much of the margin. That's definitely going to be a warning for Björn there. There's no way that's not based on how far he was off track. But Sebastian now. David gets a 3-second penalty as well, but he does get ahead of Red Dragon, who had disconnected. Sebastian takes the lead for the first time in this race. Steiner's looking for a little bit of a move, but they've gained a lot on Rothwell there. That's madness. How on earth do you gain that much? Hello. What the hell happened to the leaderboard there? But Sebastian will be wanting to get on with this race. If we do bring up the penalties again, Rothwell does not need to push too hard. Steiner's will be P2. This is all before the stewards report. I don't know what's going to be reported. I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, as I said earlier, I am the steward for F2 this season. As Deflated Wee gets a 3. Is that his first penalty in this race? It is. Funnily enough, I did see a message in the, I believe it was the Twitch chat on Tuesday. David was asking about who the steward is, so he can bribe them, and I'm like, you can't do that. That's not very fair. Sebastian sets the fastest lap again. As we do start the final lap. Sebastian... Oh, that's a late move from Björn. But Sebastian, with a superior grip on the super soft tyres, he is able to hold on. As Deflated gets past Sun God now, what was looking like such a good race for the VAR man is going to come away with at least a P7. That makes sense. There's a rule in F2 where you have to have a specific time or set of laps where you make your mandatory stop. And if you don't do it within that window, that is not your mandatory stop. I completely forgot about that rule. So that is really unfortunate for the pole sitter, as Björn... Dear Lord, how many? He's going to end up dropping behind Padge at this rate. And I think he might do. Sungod getting another trackness penalty. We'll see Sebastian come across the line first. But even with those penalties, it will be him in P1, Björn in P2. We will take the penalties as Steinos will get ahead. Steinos has won on the road, but Rothwell, having taken no track limits penalties, will take the win. Deflated will go ahead of both Björn and Codcamper. Codcamper has disconnected. Ah, no, that makes sense. Okay, so Codcamper's in P3. Okay, we'll get to the results screen, and then we'll go over the results. Not coming back. Did you disconnect? I didn't see. No. Oh, man. Actually, because there's such a big gap at the moment, we can probably go through it now. Rothwell, having taken no penalties in this race, will take the win from Steinos in P2. Codcamper will take P3, having disconnected at the line. We'll have to wait and see about that one. Sebastian loses out on a podium by 0.3 of a second to Deflated Wee in P5. So I'm going P6. Björn with 22 seconds penalties at the end. I don't know how. Is finishing P7. I think there could be a lot of things going on after this race. Couldn't quite catch the rest of the order. Björn has done very well to go from P15 to fighting for the lead at the front. So, Steinos does take away the most points from this weekend. Rothwell, however, only 1 point behind him. Deflated We will take P3 in the overall standings. Codcamper in P4 with that podium in the second race. Sebastian P5, 1 point ahead of Sun God due to the fastest lap point in the main race. Red Dragon will still come away with 11 points from this first round. He'll be ruining what he could have had in the feature race due to that incident off the start. Padge in P8 outscores Björn in P9. Sox in P10, David picking up 2 points on his debut in the league, and Bloisy taking 1 point in the sprint will keep him P12. Steve, then Alex, Steely, unfortunate for disconnect right at the end. And with that, your feature race order. Rothwell has won the race from 3rd on the grid with no penalties. Steinos will take P2 from P10 on the grid. Codcamper from P15 to P3. That is an insane drive. Sebastian will take P4 from P5 with the fastest lap. Deflated We in P5, Sungod in P6 was looking so good at one point in that race. Björn in P7, Padge P8, David P9, Sox takes the last points in P10, Steve, Alex and Steely missing out on points at the end, Bloisy with the DNF and Red Dragon, unfortunate for the DSQ with the tyre rule. That was very quick. I had to do that so quickly, otherwise I was going to run out of time to read it on the results page. That is a brilliant race. I think that there were a lot of things that happened in that race by virtue of penalties and incidents. So I truly do believe that that order is subject to change. I think that if the rest of the season brings us this much action, my voice is going to be dead by the end of it, but it's going to be a bloody good season. We've already got a close title fight already by the provisional standings. And yeah, with the next stream, we'll have the assist here on Sunday. I believe that I may be doing that with snacks as well. First running of the single assist here in the history of the league. We'll see who's fighting there. So thank you for watching. It's been a very good race. I hope that you enjoyed it at home. And I will see you for Miami. Well, no, I'll see you for Imola on Sunday. And if I don't, then I'll see you for Miami next week. Take care.